Is this thing working? Is this thing on? I should have started up my phone sooner to check my channel. Oh. Hey, guess what? It's on. Whoa. Whoa. Uh, Here we are, making a game. I wanted to show you what I'm up to. So, what I'm up to, what I'm doing is let me show you. Okay. Okay. Let's see what pops up in the console. I think that shows me errors. Oh. What's that sound? Should turn that down a little bit. But backwards. But what I wanted to show, I'd look a little bit more over. Itchy ear. Okay. But what I wanted to show you. What's it not always showing? Oh, duh, yeah, it's because I set it to when player is moving, then do the thingy. But I made it that you can go upstairs and other small stuff, which if you can kind of see, if we can go closer, there's a bunch of raycasts. There's 8 raycasts going out all 4 directions. And those are detecting colliders, the green thing on the edges that give an object a physical touch in a way, physics, fizzy physics. And essentially, let's see. As they come out of the player, there's actually, I'm gonna have to look at it again. I think it comes out of the feet area, the very bottom. Yeah. And then there's one. Oh, there's raycasts coming out of the feet, the very bottom of the player, and raycasts coming out of the knee area for detecting like the height of the object. So essentially, when the bottom raycast touches something, and the top ones don't touching anything, then the player is allowed to move upward, going right on top of the collider. Something like that. And so essentially you're able to climb little small ledges like steps. So this is essentially designed to make you so you can climb steps. It's pretty cool. I wish I could remember the channel I was watching to figure that out. Which I think. Can't remember where. Which I'm seeing that there's That's something I'm coming to realize as you walk around on terrain. When the raycasts collide with the terrain that's a little bit above the player, is at a slight angle, it makes you jump up a little. And so while you're moving on terrain like this, it's making you jump up a lot. So it makes me wonder, how could I fix that? I could move up raycast that coming out of the feet, so when the player's making contact with the terrain, that's the best solution I can think. The only other thing I can think to solve this problem is to calculate the angle of the collider that it's touching. Like if it's less than a 80 degree angle, don't do the jumpy thing. But that solution could also be fixed by simply moving up the object, of which I'm trying to think. I think I could. Or is it player movement? I'll think. Oh, messing with the rotation. Okay. What if, I don't know, we put it a little more at ankle height? That might solve our problem. Okay, we save. Let's maximize so we can really see what's going on. Yes. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's not gonna work. Because we are moving the character upwards till that raycast isn't touching anything anymore. Because that would mean then the player is up and over the obstacle. So that wouldn't work. Now, the only thing I could think of is doing a check for if with tag. If with tag grounds you can't do the jump up thing, but whatever about other surfaces, that has a slight curvature to it or whatever. one other thing that could help with the movement. I mean, yeah. Oh yeah, duh. Okay, yeah, yeah. So instead, 0.4. Let's go back to the game here. What is the radius? It's 3. Okay. Okay. Seems like I have it small as it can go. Yeah, this is a problem. The most simplest solution is to make it ignore the collider of the ground, so we don't have that issue. Bum 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 bum. Yeah, that's a bit annoying. Look at that. As soon as we step up a little, you know. Oh, here comes the pingies. Something I could try and mess with the smoothing value. If I made the smoothing value say 1, can't quite remember what these two values exactly do though. It's see, the smoothing happens so much faster because I pushed up that number. So maybe made that number smaller. Put it as a 0.2. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Because you know, the quick jumping upwards, I think is fine for like stairs. It's obvious, like, oh, okay, yeah, it's stairs. Of course, you would drastically bump upward, but on a surface like this, the jitter that's not satisfying. Dish not satisfying. So the best thing would be to I'm looking at a fly or something that's in my room. Trying to think. Its height, you know, if I put that 0.5, that affects the amount of upwardness we get when we bump into something. So bum 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 bum. It's not bad. I just don't like that. I just don't like that at all. And I'm just thinking, like, why would I need that for, like, the ground, the terrain, you know? So, and also, I don't know, should I make it as a tag or a layer? Like, ignore this layer? Can't quite remember how you do that. No, 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 no. Unity, Raycast. Oops. Raycast. Layer mask. How do we detect layer mask? Physical raycast. Blah blah blah. Debug transformer. I assume it would be similar to tag or whatever. I'm trying to remember. I don't quite remember. How to okay, yeah, that's it, right? Hit tag. Okay, how would I do this? Because I guess it would have to be in the first argument. Let's duplicate this. We'll put and can't remember. Was it called hit? No. Oh. Oh yeah, duh. Yeah. Instead of saying tag, is it just saying layer? No. Of course not. It's not just a one word replacement. Variable for layer mask. Okay. So is that what I would have to do? It has to be what you would call it. Um, um yes, private layer mask underscore ground. That good? And then we take that. That doesn't make sense. How's it used here? If we cast my cast searches. Hmm. Oh. Hey. Maybe we should go back to YouTube. Air mask with PhysicCast.
In this video, we will learn how to use layer mask with physics raycasting, so we could include or exclude objects that we don't want to consider or we want to consider while doing the raycast. So in this example, I only want to be the green cube here to be considered when I'm doing raycasting. So if I hover on anything else, there is nothing, no result showing in the console. But once I hover on the green object, you could see we get a feedback saying the ray hit this game object. So we'll see that in a minute. So to start, I'll need to add a layer name to the object I want to be considered for the ray casting. So to the layer number, I'll select the number 6 and add a name to it. So I'll just call we have number 6. Let's create script. So layer mask and then attach the script to the empty game object layer number. And if you remember, we selected the layer number to be 6 in the slot number 6. And
Okay.
we also have two private variables for the layer mask as integer and the raycast hit variable. So then in the start method, we use the bitwise left shift operator so that we could change or represent the layer number by a single bit in the 32-bit integer system. And so you just need to have the 1 and the left shift operator and then put the layer number you have here, and then you will get the layer mask in the 32-bit. And then in the update, we get the array variable of type array using the screen point array. And then we check if physics.raycast and we pass that array. And we have out raycast hit of type raycast hit. And the distance of the array we want it to infinity. And the layer mask here, we pass it, which is here, which represent the layer number 6. So only if you hit that layer mask, which is that object we selected, then we'll have something to indicate that we have the hit. So it's just a debug. So let's save and go back to
Raycast. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Hmm. What? Oops. Copy that. Not that. Not that at all. Because he has that. The recast. Could I put that? And so then we have the opposite? Huh. I'm just curious what will happen if I just used. Oh, shoot. Yeah, that's true. What if we go like this? We copy this. Because we would have to add that to every single one. What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? I have a feeling it's not gonna work. It will only work for the ground, which before we hit play, we should make sure that the ground says that it is ground. Yeah, no. I don't know. Let's hit play and see. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. But will it work? Oh, it's not. It's not at all. And I guess that's because that must be it. Because yeah, we got that in there, but it's also has to be put in. Like we have to use its. We're missing something like how he has it here for a layer.
The editor to test it out. So now if I click play and I'll display the console, and then if I move the mouse on all other game objects, nothing will show. But if I move on,
You know, I feel like we're not using the layer mask in the proper way, and perhaps this tag would be more appropriate. He didn't show anything.
In this video, we're going to talk about layer masks and how to use them.
Yes.
So if you're not currently familiar with how to do raycasts as well as how layers work in Unity, the two previous videos I made to this are kind of related on the same topic. So I'd recommend checking those out first. But if you're already familiar with the basics of how to use layers in a raycast, then just follow along and we'll jump right in here.
Yeah.
In the last video, I showed you how we can make the train use layers so that it collides with the barrels or sometimes passes through them. Now we're going to take that a bit further here and start using layer masks so we can make something collide or check for multiple layers instead of just one. So I mentioned in the previous video, we did sort of see a layer mask already. So if we go to our main camera, the culling mask that we use here, this is actually using a layer mask. So if you make it public or serialized, when you see it in the inspector, it's going to have a drop down like this, and it lets you select multiple layers. This is how you interact with a layer mask in the inspector. We can also do this in code, which I'm going to show how to do in the next video after this one. So let's get started here. Let's go to the barrel script that I made. All it does is check if we collided with something on the layer of terrain, and then we cause the barrels to explode.
Okay, because this is kind of what I'm looking for. So I was using collision detection instead of raycasts, but I believe I can use this just for so let's go like this. Can just delete that once again. And then we can go like this, I think. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so I got my game layer. I'm trying to think here. So we could. From here, perhaps we can add that layer mask dot name of the layer. And we go like bracky thing. Okay, no, that actually what we're looking for. Is it capital G ground? I'm not sure. That thing. Oh, wrong one. Oh, okay. And then we delete this. Now hit equals. Could I use that in a forward out hit? Trying to make it. I don't know what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't work? Okay. Yeah. I'm just trying to copy what I'm seeing on the computer here is.
Instantiating explosion prefab. So now I'm going to leave this as it is, but in the same method, I'm going to make a raycast here. So I'm just going to make a raycast hit. I'll call this hit. And then I'm going to do if physics.raycast. And now the one I want to use here is pretty far in the options.
What is it?
It is.
Show me.
Okay, so this is one I want to use here, 11. It's going to take in an origin for our ray, a direction, a distance, and then a layer mask. And it's showing you a layer mask is just a type integer, and that's all it actually is. In the next video, I'm going to show you why that's the case and how we can modify that in code. But for this video, I'm going to keep it pretty basic and just show you how to use a simple layer mask. So let's start this here. For the origin, I'm going to do transform.position. And if we look where the barrels are, if I select the barrels, the pivot point is near the bottom. So I'm actually going to raise the point of the raycast a bit higher, because what I want to do is shoot this ray at the train to see when we hit the train. And if we do it this low, it's probably going to go under it. So I'm going to do transform.position plus, I'll do vector3.up. So that'll be 1 unit up on the y-axis. Okay, and then we need our direction. So if I look at this, it's using the x for vector3.right, which is 1 on the x. And it's going to shoot the ray this way. And now this is where our layer mask comes into play. So right now we haven't actually created a layer mask yet. One thing you can do here is similar to how I showed how you can get the names of layers and convert the layer to a name. We can actually get the name of a layer and make it a layer mask using a command layer mask and then .get mask. And then in here, if we put the name of a layer, so if I put train, oops, we don't want a semicolon there, we want a comma. I think I have one too many there. Okay. Now this is a simple way that you can make a layer mask if it's only one layer that you want to check. So if you're making...
All right, so... Why are we having an error? Error. 1, 2, 1. Okay, I think we're missing 1, 2, 3, 1. Wow. We have to delete. Oh. 1, 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. Oh yeah, there's 3. Okay. Hey, we got it. So could we do that? It does give us an error. No.
Make an array cast or anything else that's requiring something of type layer mask. If you just want the one layer and you know the name, you can fill this in anywhere and that's going to create a layer mask out of it. So let's test this out here. So right now this raycast is only going to run this code in the if statement if it does hit something on layer train. So let's just debug.log in here. And I'm going to do hit train.
Okay.
And right now with this method I picked here, we're not actually using raycast hit. We don't need it yet, but I'm going to leave it there and we'll use it in a moment. So let's go test this out first. So let's go to the console. I'm going to clear that. And now essentially it's going to take one point up here, create a raycast, shoot it to the train. And if it hits something on the layer train, it's going to debug hit train. Okay, so that worked. That hit the train. Now we have this tumbleweed here, and it's on layer type tumbleweed. So if I make this a bit bigger,
would that get in the way?
Let's move it up a bit.
I think that's what he's showing.
Now if we run the game, notice it's still hitting the train because it's passing through and it's only looking for anything on the train layer. So it doesn't stop the raycast until it hits something on train. So it does shoot through this object, but doesn't care about it, then hits the train. Now, what if we wanted to check for both of these? So if we wanted to check if it hits either a tumbleweed or a train, we would need to use a full layer mask. So let's go back to our code. So I did already have a variable here of type layer mask called collision layer mask. I'm just going to delete that to show you how you actually create it. So, okay, so let's just make a layer mask variable. So same as any other variable.
I'm starting to think I should
I'm
just use
do it
tape.
Private type layer mask. And I'm just going to call this layer mask with an underscore. You can name it whatever you want. You should pick something that makes sense. So maybe like collision layer mask or barrel layer mask, whatever you prefer. And I'm just going to add serialized field. So this shows in the inspector. Now let's go back to Unity. We select our barrels. Notice we have layer mask and it defaults to nothing selected. So now in here, what I want to do is I want to select tumbleweed and I also want to select train. So now I have these two different layers selected.
Okay.
And if I go to the code, instead of this layer mask.getMask with train, which is only going to return the train layer,
yes,
let's replace this with layer mask.
Layer mask.
And make sure it's lowercase l if you name it the same, not the capital L. Okay, and now we can debug here, hit train or tumbleweed. So let's go test this out. Right now we don't know which it's going to hit. So you know what, just to confirm, I'm going to disable the train. Let's run the game. Now it says hit train or tumbleweed because it's hitting the tumbleweed. Now if I enable the train again, if we go back to our code here, we can just change our raycast. So I'm going to remove those. Now we're going to use a different option for the raycast. So we're going to use out with the hit variable that we created here. And again, if you're not familiar with raycasting, check out my previous video on raycasting. It'll explain what we're doing here. Okay, so we have our hit. We need to put our distance again. So let's put in our layer mask of just name layer mask. Make sure it's a lowercase l, not a capital. And now we see it's using type 15 for the...
So it does that again. Hmm. Hmm. Everything but the I don't know.
The raycast. So origin, a direction, the hit info, distance, and then a layer mask. Information. So okay, so and now see right we it hits 6 of ray overlap sphere inside of a collision. Those are the most common places to use a layer mask. So as well, a circle mask, you can to do autofinic object. You common it's checking ray casting and how you can use them. Common uses for them is ray casting, like we did here. Also using a physics overlap sphere or overlap box, anything like that, where it's checking if you hit something inside of a collision. Those are the most common places to use a layer mask. So if you're not familiar with overlap spheres, you can check out my other video on that. I'll link it below as well. And you can do the exact same thing with a layer mask. So you could do something similar like checking a circle around your object. And if anything inside that circle is on the layer mask, it's going to return for you. Okay, so I hope that helped. If you have any questions of that, comment below. And like I mentioned, I'm going to get another video out soon that continues on this concept. And we're going to cover bit masks, which is what a layer mask is made up of, and how you can modify the values in it inside your code. So then you don't have to go to the inspector to do all those checkboxes.
So no, not that. Okay, so make it a CSS field. And copy. Wait, nope. Copy the ground thing. One, 2, 3, 4. So we copy all that. So if we made, say, that's the ground. Set all that to the ground. The rock can be ground. This rock ground. Set everything to ground. Except for the actual ground. We go down to ground mask. We click on everything. Right? So everything even the ground, which can't remember, we do have it set to ground. See it, set it back to default. Wait, is there an option for, wait, what was that I was messing with? Everything except, well, everything but the ground. Oh, okay, there is a default option. I think so. We could set to default, but ignore the ground. And then we can set that back to ground. Set this back to default. Set that back. Really? No, we set that to ground, see if that'll work. Layer masking kind of seems kind of cool. See, now we can't climb that, but we can climb this. Everything that says default. But now we can't climb the ground. We fixed it. We fixed it, everybody. It was pretty simple, too. More simple than I thought it was. See, we're climbing, moving up these little surfaces a lot better. Here comes two penguins. Get out of my way, penguins. But we can claim this now because it's set as default. But this is set to ground. So in a backwards kind of way, we can make it that we can't quite climb things that say ground. Is this rock ground? I forgot. It is set to ground. Okay. That's why we can't climb it. Beautiful. I didn't know there was a default thing. So pretty much everything that can be default, just for particular things I don't want to play at to climb. You set on the layer. Yeah, set on the layer ground. Awesome. That's so good. That's so good. I'm so happy. So now we can just ignore certain things. Which, because like things like, because the ground will never be like very jagged and steep, but short enough for the player to jump over. It shouldn't, unless I just go real crazy with the height of the ground and making the geometry of the ground very low, which usually ground isn't all that low, you know. Okay. One problem down. Hey. Something though I was planning on doing is moving over this player model, like a playable model, to the new-ish one. But in a way, I feel like it's not really necessary, because I'm planning on updating the model again to a better one. Better geometry for like movement of the knees and elbows and hips. I don't know. You know, the parts that move. Better geometry for more suitable movement. I can just keep on playing with this one for now. You know, that one looks much better and has better like movement, because like the backpack part thing here isn't like, doesn't stretch at all, and the back bends like this one. You see how warped it is. Because it's being warped by the back or whatever. On this character, the armor parts are more solid, you know, they don't get warped by the movement of the player. Because of good, what's it called? I don't remember. Something I've been trying to work on is trail, collision, noise, external motion, rotation, seed buys over life. Ape, which is very narrow. Narrow de narrow. Right over this. Max particles. I'm gonna play with that for a little bit here. Now you see, when I shoot once, it spawns in, but when I just keep on pressing, nothing happens, and I think .2. What if we hit play? Why can't I just... Why? Let's go back to the rifle. Waffle. Okay, scroll down to... the muzzle. Come on, baby. Okay. I don't necessarily have to. I don't have to use the particle system. You know how I'm doing it. In a way, I feel like maybe I could just make a very simple 3D model kind of thing that'll look like muzzle flash. It'll just be an object and have a special texture to give a glow and a light or whatever, and that object will simply just be turn off and on as you shoot. Or kind of look like muzzle flash.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Zihan118. Now, quite a while ago I made this little video on how to create a simple muzzle flash effect. You might be more familiar with
This
the thumbnail,
quality is
this one.
poor.
Now,
Give me the best you got.
now, this is all well and fine, but for some reason, not actually for some reason, all you have to do is make this thing, make the default shader to change into this.
Okay,
Universal render
so
pipeline,
he's
particle
using the
sunlight, and the
shader.
surface type will be transparent and the blending mode would be additive. And if you do these changes, the muzzle flash should go ahead and work on URP as well. And if you want to know about how I made this muzzle flash effect,
Okay, wait. Okay, so duration you set to 0.1. Start life speed 0.1. Simulation speed 1. Particle 1000. What is that? What is that again? Okay, simulation speed, that's well, I feel like there's a little more to, of course, there's a little more to it.
muzzle flash effect, you can see it on more detail on this little video. And if you don't want to see the video, actually all that I did is I actually copied the muzzle flash effect from Immersive's microgame FPS project, and then changed the texture from this little from not actually little, I don't know if he's big or not, but from this creator I changed the texture and then properties to fit the URP need. So yep, this, and I well nicer, more less, yeah, should for the shape of this you could actually just scale it down like so, like let me make it 0.5 or 0.5 and 0.5. And with it, if I play now, the muzzle flash is not too small, so yeah, it's pretty cool. Now a lot of particle effects don't scale. When you scale here, you have to go ahead and scale it. The package is going to be available down, and you can go with that.
Okay, is this video?
There you go, and unmute my audio. You should be able to see the muzzle flash, the scale of the muzzle flash, because the value into it, like it lights up the scene and shit if you repeat it. So this is basically okay, yes, and it will replace it to our color, the colors that it's all in very different color. So in that manner, if you go, so yeah, and then object, check him out. So I have it, and select our object, which we already have. Now what? And then down below.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Kind of want to use Unity's particle system because I feel like it's designed to be more efficient than what I'm thinking of doing. Muzzle flash HDRP. Look at that. That is pretty cool. Changing the temperature. Alright. Oh. Oh wow, he's doing it all. Hemisphere. Okay. I don't know, I'm just doing the cone. Cone's fine. Set emission rate over time to 0 and add a burst emission. Huh. Zero. Burst. Let me go back and look at that. Not that, boy. Damn, not got no dog, but me. Oh. Okay. Let's start speed to 0. Oh. I think 1. Let's just try 1. I mean, that's pretty much what I got. Alright, let's hit play. Because that's another thing. How is he, how's he making it, because, like, do I need muzzle flash stop? Or do I let it stop on its own? Can I do that? I think that probably is better. Because, see, now I do that, it's always happening. I am getting dozed. 0.1. What if I do that? I don't know if that affects. Yeah. Back to the video. I would think you would have it not set the loop. Well, wait. What if? No. Hear me out. What if we copy? So if we play the cartoon, we just play muzzle. Because the cartoon thingy is giving us problems, maybe. Carotene. No, something's happening. And it stops when we stop shooting. Double check and see. Oh, okay. At start it says. At the start, of course, it says to stop shooting. Huh. I don't know. I'm fine, she said. Are you sure about that? What if we just immediately make it stop shooting? What's gonna happen? I think most likely we won't see anything because it just happens so fast. It tells it to stop. Oh, it's still. Oh. Maybe because we have it set to loop. Try again. Weird. Hmm. Actually, yeah, I can't wait. Remember, what was the rate of fire on the gun? Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that matters a lot. The weapon holder. Yeah, the rate of fire is 0.1. So, because it doesn't have time to do anything, it seems. Huh. Oh my goodness. The whole time, there's been 2 particles. That's fucking wild. This is wild. Oh, wild. Wow. What if we go back and do this once again? We played it to 1. 0.9. Oh. What if I put it that? Yeah, that's where it really matters, I think. Let's try this. Can't believe there's been 2 particle things we've been messing with. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Baby. Give me a triple. That's so cool. That's so cool. I can't remember. I feel like there was. Why did you make an actual, like, kind of a mesh? I don't know. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Oh, yeah. There you go. Now, what does it look? A little better. Would it be better if it followed? Didn't. I mean, perfectly followed the player. Didn't kind of stay in place. One thing that would make this infinitely much better is we have random rotation. Start rotation. Where's Oh, noise, yeah. Run it. .5. Let's say. What was it that gave rotation over time? Oh. Not fucking that. Can't remember what it was. Was it in rendering? Start mode. Flip. Allow roll. Pivot. Masking apply. Cast shadows. Flip. Oh. Working a lot better now. I like that. It looks nice, but I wish it let's go to rotation over time. That something crazy. That doesn't seem to work. That's funny. Anyways, we figured out, I guess, our problems with our particles. I wasn't popping up and working at all. Really, it was because I was supposed to go wrong particle. I thought there was one for string. Yeah, but there's other things we can do. Hmm. Oops. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. But I hope you enjoyed the live stream. I'm gonna go do something a little more interesting. I'm gonna go play some Daisy. In this show, and I'm not gonna do that. It's too late for it now. Well, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna eat a little something and go to bed. That sounds so much more fun. So, I hope you enjoyed seeing what little I've been doing with the game, messing with muzzle flashes, the particle system, and raycasting to walk up steps and stuff. And now that I have made it that you can't go up certain things, like say the ground, there's no silly jitter when you're just walking on kind of somewhat uneven surface. I don't know.